This is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today I'm doing a review demo of the V3 Route 66 American Overdrive by Truetone, formerly known as Visual Sound. A lot of you might remember the Route 66 that Visual Sound put out back in the day. Well, what Truetone has done when they've reissued this is they've changed the circuitry to give you the very best options of what the old Route 66 would do, but give you some other options as well, kind of updating it and enhancing it. So before I tell you more about this very cool, versatile pedal, I'll tell you about everything else in the signal chain. I'm playing my 1966 Fender Stratocaster, big head. It's all stock except for it has a Memphis wiring. I'm running an Astrope cable directly into the Route 66. Route 66 is going into a Mesa Boogie Lone Star amp. We're in the clean channel. Everything is completely flat, as you can see. We're miking it with a Royer R121 mic that's running into an Apogee Quartet and into Pro Tools. So that's the basics. When we came in, I started out with just the compression on, and as you can see, it's all flat. And then when I went to the E, the 5 chord, I engaged the overdrive, which was right 12 o'clock as well. So let's just kind of explore all the options of this pedal. Essentially, the Route 66 is two pedals in one that function completely independently of each other. And you get options where you can, because of the multiple inputs and outputs, you could even run these to different loop stations so you can get that independence on it and run it truly like two different pedals. And you can change up the order of the pedals, or you can go inside of it and either have buffered or true bypass. So that's a few of the cool options of this pedal. Right now we're running it on a 9-volt DC out running into a Voodoo Labs pedal power. Well, let's start with compression. So the compressor, right now, what I like about it has everything you might suspect that a compressor would have. The tone has a switch right here where you can either engage it or not engage it. So there's with tone on. It's working, or you can just bypass the whole thing. I kind of like having it on. Also down here, you have a gate option. There it is. You notice when you have that gate on, really quiet. Hear that? That's a cool option. Nice to be able, particularly when you're running old school hummy pickups, it's kind of cool to have that. So with the compressor, I think my favorite new option is right here, the mix knob, which allows you to kind of season to taste. Same thing on the overdrive section as well. So you can control how much of the original clean signal you have and mix it with the affected signal, in this case, compression. So if we want to go for the heavily compressed thing, let's turn that way up. So you can hear you got a lot more. Let me turn the compressor up all the way. It's a really good, like country kind of compression. So with that, with that compression dived, man, even with a clean signal, it'll just hold a note forever. So that's a cool little option there. Or you can make it way more subtle. See, turn the compression way up, but bring the mix way down. And you can kind of have a combination of you can have a more subtle version of that. That's pretty great right there. So I love that. You can get the compression, get a ton of compression, but feather it back where you're hearing it, but it's not so obviously compressed. Almost like you get the feel of compression without the obvious, that obvious compression sound of it, you know, sucking the notes in. Anyway, that's great. There's a long time when I was totally hooked on compression. I'm trying to break myself of that habit, but it gets addictive because it's so easy to play with it. So they do that really well. And what I love, okay, see right there, these switches, they call this their million hit switch. Apparently you can hit this switch a million times, it's still going to work. A cool thing about Route 66 too, about actually all their pedals right now, all of the Truetone pedals, they have a lifetime guarantee, not just for the original owner, but buy the pedal, sell it to somebody else, and the lifetime warranty will transfer with the pedal. So they obviously really have a lot of faith in their craftsmanship, which is great. Okay, now let's deal with the overdrive. Here I am, just straight in, and here's with it engaged. Now, you can see we also have a mix on this, just as we do on the compression. I'm keeping the mix all the way up. It gives you the option of kind of season it to taste, but I'm finding, and I'll show you, I'm finding that it sounds best when that thing's just kind of dimed up there. It's funny, when I turn up the mix, I hear the volume coming up as well. So maybe it's just more because you're getting more of a boost from that overdrive. But as I was saying, I kind of like that dimed. Now let's try and, we're on setting A right now, so let's just kind of explore this, see where it goes. I'm going to add a little bass to it because I like bass. Let's go ahead and dime it, see what it does. That's a good, solid rock and roll tone, but let's try it on B setting, the B voicing of it. So here we are on A. So it feels like B is a lot darker. So I'm going to roll back the bass, bring up the treble a little bit, and switch between the two. It's a little bit darker, a little bit darker on B, and a little bit quieter. Man, I like that tone. Now, if we really want to go crazy, which we do, let's go ahead and put them both in, see what we get. And we're going to have that, let's keep that gate on, see what we get. Okay? Tell you the two together, man, it really comes alive, like really alive. And you get that great sustain. And I like the gate. So that's the basics on the V3 Route 66 American Overdrive by Truetone. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. And while you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel that has great content for all you guitar geeks out there. This is John Bolger. Until next time.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on premierguitar.com.